these failures were probably the best lessons that that person could have, if not in solving a particular issue, in building resilience. The failures in your life led you to that moment where the turning point was you're gonna give up or you're gonna continue. There's so much opportunities lurking around the corners that will never make an appearance if failure prevents you from taking that next step.
Hi, this is Pia Cayetano. Welcome to my podcast, My Daily Race.
Welcome back to my podcast, My Daily Race. This is Pia Cayetano, and here we talk about life experiences, life lessons, insights, and most importantly is how we can navigate life by learning from others, including my own lessons. So I hope they've been of value to you. And if you haven't listened to any episode, I hope this will be a good one. And we also have lots of other episodes that you can tune into. So today our topic is on failure. And I think there's so much to learn about embracing failure, not being afraid of failure, not being embarrassed to death, like you want to hide under, you want to be buried under the ground when you fail. It is embarrassing. You lose face. Nakakaya, no? But I'm here to tell you that there's so much to learn with failure, and I want us to think of it this way. Let failure be your teacher. Best-selling books and highly rated movies are usually based on the success of a person, and then they do a throwback and show you how difficult life was for this person and all the challenges that they went through and how they failed again, failed the third time, and then finally the stars align and call it what you want. Their wish came true. All their hard work finally found the meaning, and they're now a success. But really, these failures were probably the best lessons that that person could have, if not in solving a particular issue, in building resilience. So it's very possible that what your main goal is, you may have failed many times in life, in other aspects of your life, not related to this particular goal. But how come you persevere? How come you're still willing to do what it takes to become a success in that endeavor, whether it's getting a high grade in school or submitting a project to your boss that you will be commended for? Most likely the failures in your life led you to that moment where the turning point was you're going to give up or you're going to continue. Or maybe there was even no major turning point, but you're just there every day, consistently putting in the work to bring you up to that day of success. We underestimate the effect of failure in our life. And I'll start now with an example of what can be perceived, and to a large extent, I perceived as a failure in my life when I was fighting against, no, I was fighting against the vape bill at that time. And I'll tell you why now. I'll explain it. So I think it was in late 2019, we passed the bill on sin tax law. And this bill taxed sin products, which includes alcohol, cigarettes, but the new product that was being taxed was the vapes and e-cigarettes, okay? So under the sin tax law, aside from taxing it, because taxing a product makes it more expensive, so that would be a deterrent for young people, for kids especially, to buy. Kasi very successful in other countries is they put a tax on these sin products so that they're not easily accessible to people, because precisely they're bad products for you. They're not good for your health. To support that, we also put provisions there, including the three. I'll mention the three. One is that it would be regulated by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. And then second is the age of access has to be 21, so that at 17, at 18, at 19, they're not allowed to use these products. Kailangan 21. And then the third is no flavors. Like, we only allowed menthol. So all of those reasons combined help support a strong anti-tobacco, anti-vaping policy. But sadly, less than a year after we passed that law, Congress passed a new law which was supposedly regulating vapes, but actually it liberalized vapes. What does that mean? Imbis na it made it difficult for people to access vapes, they liberalized it. Kaya nga tinawag yan ng advocates na vape liberalization law. Para bang tinulungan pa nila to make people easily access, to allow people to easily access vapes. They took out the FDA regulation and they put it sa DTI. They took out the provision that was very strict that didn't allow flavors. And they also took out the age of 21 and lowered it to 18. So I was the lone voice in arguing against it. One of my colleagues, Senator Joel, was also vocal about this, but this was the time of the pandemic. So I was defending my version of the bill, which would really regulate it, alone in my house. And I lost. In the final vote, I was the only one who voted against it. Merong nag-abstain, but I was the only one who voted. And I was so sad. I was so sad because less than a year before that, it was such a victory. We put in these provisions that would protect the youth. And then suddenly here I am, and we are 24 senators, and I was the only one who voted against it in the final vote. Like I said, my good friend, Senator Joel, also voted against certain provisions. And then later on, Senator Kiko Pangilinan changed his mind, and on the third reading, he voted. And I'm very grateful for that. Voted with me against it. But during that process, I felt so alone, and I felt like it was a failure because yung nagawa ko, nabawi. So after that, at the end of that, like I cried, ayoko na, parang I'm like, ayoko na, I don't want to be a senator anymore. I'm not effective. I can't even do this job. A couple of people messaged me, actually a lot of people messaged me, called me, like my brother Alan said, like they're very proud of me for standing up for what I believed in. And rest assured that people will remember that I fought this fight. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. It's such a lonely fight. It's so sad. I'm so alone. I felt so alone talaga. And I felt like a failure. And the truth is, I am used to success. Like I said, no, we have a lot of failures in life. Some people's failures are very blatant. Like, for example, for a politician, you lost in an election. For somebody, like you didn't get a promotion. I'm sure I have so many failures. If I sit here, I can recount it for the next 1 hour. But I don't have any in-your-face failures na naiisip ko kaagad. But this one nga is naiisip ko, and I think of it as a failure. And I guess one reason it also hit me very hard is, yun nga, I'm not used to a lot of big failures. I'm an achiever. I fix my life, even as a child. I fix it in such a way that I have my mini goals. I prepare for it. So, I don't set up myself for failure kasi I feel na that was inherent to me. Like, the reason I can say I'm successful or I feel successful is precisely because I think I did not set myself up for failure. Like, pinapasok ko, yung I train for it. I'm not saying magaling ako sa lahat. No, definitely not. But I start with nothing. I build. And then, next thing I know, I'm good at it, but because I really prepared for it. So in that sense, I don't set myself up for failure. But in this case, I prepared so well. I had the support of the health advocates. I had the support of DOH. So how did it fail? So that was very, very painful. But that was around early 2022 or late 2021. I'm not that sure exactly when that happened. Pero after that, and it's now 2025, I was able to use that story again and again and again to the point that I don't care if you've heard this story 1,000 times. I will say it again because to me, this was a failure of Congress, not my failure. So I was able to turn this around for my purposes to make me feel good about failing in that particular endeavor. And now that I'm thinking about it, I have a few other failures that I want to talk about. For many, many years, I would say for even more than a decade, I never talked about this because I was so embarrassed about this part of my life that I deemed a failure. So I graduated from UP. I was only 18 years old and I was just turning 19. I was already a graduate of college. I graduated cum laude with a degree in Bachelor of Economics, and I didn't know what to do. So, hindi yan yung failure. I'm proud that I finished everything. I didn't know what to do. And then I had this idea that I wanted to become a chiropractor. For those who don't know, a chiropractor is like, it's an alternative form of treatment. You have to go to study again. It's very science based. In fact, in other countries, we don't have that course here, but in other countries, they call it Doctor of Chiropractic Medicine. And they offered it in the US. So to do that, you have to take a pre-med course. So I enrolled and I got accepted in an Ivy League college in the US for pre-med. I was in the US and I enrolled, and I worked, and then I decided I want to go back to school. Ito naman new. So from economics, mapupunta ako sa medicine. Guess what? It was a fail. I really feel like I didn't understand anything. I felt like I was being taught a foreign language. Maybe my mistake was I entered in summer, so it was a 5-unit course in summer. So every day on a subject matter that I wasn't comfortable with. I always wonder about my classmate. I had a classmate kasi yung chemistry class namin na yon, theoretical and practical. Doon ako sa theoretical nahirapan kasi nga every day, Monday to Friday. Tapos para siyang math, and I'm good at math too, so I really don't know why. But it's like applied math. I don't know if that's the proper term to use, na you apply mathematical computations to this chemistry. Doon ako nahirapan. Kasi everyday wala akong time when I get home to do all that. Matagal ako kasi siguro na-absorb ko pa yung process. Pero looking back, in UP kasi, the entry level for these science courses is called NatSci 1, NatSci 2, NatSci 3. I took NatSci in chemistry. Ang taas naman ng grade ko. Pero pagdating ko doon, wala talaga maintindihan. So, I ended up dropping out. And for me, that was a big failure because I never quit anything in my life. I never dropped out of anything. Pero nag-drop out ako kasi nahihiya ako sa tatay ko na ang mahal-mahal magpaaral sa States pa. Tapos, sasayangin ko lang yung pera niya dahil mag-fail lang pala ako. So sabi ko, nakita ko na if mag-drop out ako before, I can't remember, 2 weeks, parang mababalik yung pera ng tatay ko ng mga 3/4 or 1/2. I don't remember exactly. So nag-drop out ako. So I was very embarrassed by that because nga, I never really quit anything. That one took me years and years and years to accept. Kasi hindi rin nga ako sanay sa failure. So now looking back, I would encourage young people na try more things. Kasi the earlier you are accustomed to failure, the earlier you can accept these things, right? And I know it helped me later on, but imagine hindi ko matanggap. I couldn't talk about it. Of course, I jumped back on my feet right away and I entered into a field na mas komportable ako kasi economics major ako. So I got a job, the early days of mutual funds, investing. So alam ko yan kasi nga economics major ako. And then I ended up going to law school, which I wasn't excited about, but parang I felt it's in my DNA because of my dad. So parang naghanap ako ng comfort zone ko. And in my mind, natataksan ako na hindi ako magaling sa sciences, which should not be true, and I refuse to believe it now. But at that time, yun yung belief ko because of that failure in my life. So I'm sharing this now because I hope those who were my age then, at that time, I think I was 19 or 20. That's how I felt. And I think even in my early 20s, my late 20s, baka nga my early 30s, I barely talk about it kasi nga I'm so embarrassed that I failed in that endeavor. Hindi ako sanay to talk about failure because I'm an achiever. Kasi even as I talk about it, I'm like, wow, like ganun ako ka-affected. Parang I feel like it defined me, or parang I feel like I have to have 100% clean track record of no failure. Parang that's too much naman, di ba? Now that I am where I am, I've achieved what I've achieved. My 2 daughters are happy, successful. I have a 14-year-old who's a happy boy. Why would that matter? But it did matter. That's the whole message of this podcast, that we should not be afraid of failure. And I now want to just share some facts, no? A lot of famous people failed a lot. So I think the Harry Potter series, when it became a movie, this is information I knew from before, that the author J.K. Rowling failed so many times. She submitted her book and it got rejected something like 12 times. So this is J.K. Rowling, who obviously is such a famous author now. But imagine the work that you put in as an author. No? And I think for authors, it's so personal. That's your personal output, and then it gets rejected. Oprah got fired from her first TV job or radio job. I'm not sure, but she got fired. So can you imagine if these 2 people never jumped back on their feet, never went out there again because natakot sila, na-embarrass sila because they got rejected from that failure. Or what if me, I didn't go back to law school? I mean, I didn't go to law school because I was so afraid of studying again. I don't know what I would be now. Like, I mean, being a lawyer does really define part of who I am. Like, my work in the Senate is maybe easier than somebody who's not a lawyer because I can read laws very fast when I draft it. I'm not fast, I'm very meticulous because I know what I'm looking for, but I'm good at my job because I am a lawyer. Kasi nga, lawyer, making laws, and that's the job in the Senate. You make laws. What if I didn't go back to school because I was so scared of failing? Kasi I didn't fail, I dropped out. But to me, it's almost the same. I dropped out of the pre-med course that I was taking. So I mentioned those famous people because what if nga, di ba, na yung first failure nila, hindi nila tinuloy. That's where you also have to be strong and not give up right away because there's so much opportunities lurking around the corners that will never make an appearance if failure prevents you from taking that next step. You want to be able to take that next step. But then I'll go to the next point. Well, okay, fine. You failed. What next? I feel like it's kind of like grieving. You need to acknowledge that you failed, that you feel bad about. Like I said, umiyak talaga ako when I lost that battle on vapes. Umiyak talaga ako. Nailabas ko yung stress ko, yung lahat ng emotions ko. And then after pouring out my emotions and accepting that reality because it's a reality. Because sometimes naman from the start, it's not clear if it was a failure. So then you really have to analyze, was it a failure? Was it just a pause? Like, it's not like a grade in class that ang passing is 75, 70 or 69. It is syempre, fail talaga yon. It's clear. But sometimes it's not really clear. So like, in that debate on that law, I failed in stopping that bill from becoming a law. I did fail. But in the long run, in my fight against vapes, I think it became a positive part of my life because I can use it to explain to people how bad that law is and what is the effect of that bad law. I can now talk about it and use it. In the same way, if you don't get the support you need from colleagues, from classmates in a project you want to push forward, then you might say, dun palang fail. They did not support me. But that's where I said, now you think about it because maybe it's not really a failure, it's just a recalibration. Baka from there, you got their input, why they didn't like it, and then you can come up with another recommendation, and then that one is perfect. So that one, you'll realize, wasn't really a fail. Kailangan mo lang mag-recalibrate to come up with something great. And I'll go back to recipes. Alam mo, pabalik-balik lang naman ako doon sa mga experiences ko in life. I used to love baking kasi I grew up with a lola who was a baker. So hindi ako masyado sa luto, more of ako sa baking. So imagine if you make your own recipe and it's really bad. So of course, that recipe failed. But I think you can ask any chef and any baker. They never come up with a perfect recipe right away, right? It has to really go through a lot of different recipes, a little bit more of this ingredient, not that ingredient, how much time will you cook it, what's the heat, tinitimpla, in other words. That's really part of the success. So if in between the time you start and the time you are successful, there's failures in between, that's fine. Another famous failure is Abraham Lincoln. I'm a big fan of history, and I don't know American history that much, but I do know that he failed many times before he became president and eventually was the author of the anti-slavery law that changed the course of America. Can you imagine? So if this guy did not proceed, I don't know how many years of slavery they still would be, right? In America. Then I recently just finished reading this book about the first love of Napoleon Bonaparte, not the famous Josephine. There was another girl before her. Her name was Desiree Clary. And she narrates her life with Napoleon, and even when he dumped her. They got secretly engaged, and then he dumped her because he met Josephine. So of course that's heartbreaking, right? She was so in love with him. he was already in Paris living like a poor man, and then sabi ni Napoleon sa kanya, when life gets better, papakuha na siya. And when life got better, si Josephine yung kinuha niya, hindi itong si Desiree. Fate would have their paths cross again kasi yung brother ni Napoleon na right hand niya married her sister. So, pagpunta niya sa Paris, pinakilala pa ni Napoleon sa kanya yung bagong love niya, si Josephine. So, can you imagine? Engaged ka. Sinabi no sa'yo na you're the love of his life. Tapos you were dumped. Tapos ipapakilala sa'yo yung bago. Tapos yung bago, gusto niya, si Josephine, best friend sila. Like, Josephine treated her like a best friend, and in her mind, does she even know that I was the original girlfriend or love of the life of Napoleon before? Alam ni Josephine. Alam niya. The name of the book is The Queen's Fortune. Because, so from somebody who was jilted by her lover, no less than a person like Napoleon, she became Queen of Sweden. So kung hindi ba niya pinatatag yung sarili niya na araw-araw nag-show up siya, tapos si Josephine, ang ganda-ganda daw, tapos parang, pati yung love letters ni Napoleon kay Josephine, binabasa pa ni Josephine sa kanya. So she has to read the words of her ex-lover to his new love. And it used to be her. So in the book, it says na, I had to read the words that were meant for me, but no longer meant for me. Can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, the world is full of stories like that. And there's so much what if you didn't get past your failure. Just ask yourself, the next time you feel that you are hesitant in embarking on a new project, program, even relationship, whether it's a friendship or going for a promotion, ask yourself, well, what if I don't pursue this because I'm afraid? Or why am I not pursuing it? Is it because I'm afraid of failure? Ask yourself those questions. And if it's because of the fear of failure, then ask yourself, what can I do to reduce my fears? Maybe it can be just analyzing what happened. That's why you have those fears and how it is different from what you're going to try now. And then what can you do to improve your chance of success in this other endeavor? I really just want you to embrace failure, not to be afraid of failure. If you can even make failure your best friend. And I'll leave it with another anecdote. As you all know, I'm passionate about sports. And when it comes to sports, a lot of them are competitions. I've lost. Yon. This is where I learned a lot about failure. So when I said, I can't remember major fails in my life, but I can remember so many times that I've failed, I've lost in sports. So maybe that is what made me resilient. The losses I've experienced in sports since I was a kid. So I continue to be involved in sports. I continue to win some, lose some. And I'm also going to learn from my own podcast that I have to embrace failure even more, because it's with the failures that we can be better and we can get closer to what we want to achieve. So we're going to end here. This is Pia Cayetano talking about failures and hoping to hear your own stories of failures and success. Okay, magsawa. I hope you join me again for the next episode. Abangan nyo na lang. Have a wonderful day.